What is going on, y'all? It is the Caveman back at it again with another video, and today we are back on the football talk. Somebody pretty important in the NFL just decided to announce his retirement. Julian Edelman of the New England Patriots just decided to hang up his cleats. He had his contract terminated. He failed a physical, and I think that's when he decided, you know what, I am probably done. It is my time, and he announced his retirement. I really don't think I should have to tell you much about Julian Edelman. He was pretty lucrative on the Patriots with their dynasty and a lot of their Super Bowl runs. He was one of, if not the best receiver for Tom Brady a lot of those years. He was very lucrative, and he's a very important part of the Patriots and that dynasty that they had in New England for a lot of years. Before hopping into the main beefy part of the video, you know what the drill is. We got the Mott's. We're opening the Mott's. Drink that shit the fuck up, baby. Mott's applesauce. This shit makes me happy. This shit is good as hell. Cinnamon is my favorite flavor if you ever care to know, but this shit goes crazy. So anyway, Julian Edelman has announced his retirement, right? And he was always Tom Brady's right-hand man for a lot of those years in the NFL. Throughout all of their dynasty runs, throughout all the Super Bowl runs, he was always Tom Brady's right-hand man. And as a Bills fan, I dislike Julian Edelman just as much as I dislike Tom Brady. I never liked either of them. They're both annoying. They both play for the Patriots. That's just how it is as a Bills fan, all right? So obviously, like I just mentioned, as a Bills fan, I did not like Julian Edelman, but of course I respected his game. You have to respect what he's accomplished in his entire career. The dude has done a lot. He's the ultimate underdog story. He's the definition of an underdog. He was never a five-star receiver coming out of high school. He wasn't one of the highest touted prospects coming out of college. The dude is the ultimate underdog. He fought and fought and fought for his chance in the NFL and definitely left his mark. I mean, you can go look up his entire story somewhere on YouTube. I'm sure it's some documentaries out there somewhere, but it is truly a remarkable story of how he managed to get on an NFL roster and really prove himself. It's truly remarkable. It's really one of those stories where you realize, like, holy shit, no matter how bad it may seem, no matter how unlikely it may seem, you could probably do it. And I respect the hell out of that. From man to man, human to human, person to person, I respect the hell out of that kind of work ethic that Julian Edelman holds within him, and that I'm sure goes with not only football, but anything in life. That guy has a work ethic that I admire, and I honestly don't even think I can have a work ethic up to that point. That's something insurmountable that you need to have a different type of drive for. You need to be born different for a drive like that, to be that motivated. When things are that unlikely, you have to be different, and I respect the hell out of that. And it's unfortunate that when he goes and announces his retirement, that the conversation becomes, oh look, let's tear down his career because people are talking about him being a potential Hall of Fame candidate, and now everybody's arguing over his career instead of just admiring what he actually accomplished in the NFL. I'm sorry, and I mean this with the utmost respect for anyone that holds this opinion, but there is no way that Julian Edelman is a Hall of Famer. There is no way Julian Edelman deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Not first ballot, not second ballot, not ninth ballot, not 12th, not 13th, not 14th, not ever. Julian Edelman did not nearly accomplish enough to have a Hall of Fame resume, and that's just the facts. It's not tearing down his career, but it's unfortunate that that's what the conversation has come to just 2 days after his freaking retirement, or just one day. I mean, what did he retire yesterday? Just a day after his retirement, this is what people are talking about. It's been the hottest topic of football Twitter as of the last 24 hours, and I just cannot wrap my head around how people think he's potentially a Hall of Fame candidate. I understand what he's done in the postseason, but you have to realize that any receiver, any decent receiver, any pretty damn good receiver with that many chances in the postseason to put up those numbers would have done what Julian Edelman did, and probably a lot more. There have been so many different receivers that you can list name after name that have had such prolific careers. They just never had that many chances in the postseason that Julian Edelman had, but they put up stupid numbers in the regular season. They just never got those postseason opportunities that Julian Edelman did, and nobody else may ever get those postseason opportunities the amount that Julian Edelman did, because he played alongside Tom Brady. I'm sure if you put anybody else or any of these other prolific receivers next to Tom Brady, they do just as well, if not better, in the postseason and the regular season. The most popular tweet that has been floating around kind of debunking this Edelman to the Hall of Fame argument was this tweet from Warren Sharp, and all he did was compare Hines Ward's stats to Julian Edelman. He put them side by side, and you can obviously see the difference in between Hines Ward's stats and Julian Edelman's stats, and Hines Ward is not in the Hall of Fame, mind you. If you weren't aware of that, Hines Ward is not a Hall of Famer, and Julian Edelman, with these stats, there's no way in hell he deserves to get in. I'm sorry, that's just the truth. And I just do not feel the need to go and list off other receivers and all of their stats to compare them to Julian Edelman, because the proof is in the pudding. It does not take much digging to realize that Julian Edelman's stats and what he did as an actual individual just does not compare to some other guys that have not even sniffed the Hall of Fame Fame yet. I also saw some people comparing Julian Edelman's Hall of Fame resume to Eli Manning's Hall of Fame resume, and even though they're different positions and it's tough to compare, when you do the actual comparing, I think Eli Manning, from a quarterback's perspective, has a better resume and a stronger case than Julian Edelman. And that is saying a lot, because Eli Manning is one of the most talked what-if Hall of Famers that we have on our hands today. Nobody knows if Eli Manning actually deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. There are so many people on one side saying yes, so many people on the other side saying no. Nobody knows the actual answer, and nobody knows if he'll actually get in. But if Julian Edelman doesn't even reach the Eli Manning standard of Hall of Fame resume, how does anybody expect him to get in? I mean, I don't even know where this argument started. I don't know how it started. I don't know where it came from. I don't know why it caught fire. I don't know why it's still ongoing up to this point in time. But I know for the most part, a lot of people think he does not deserve to get in. But for those people, that small portion of people that think he deserves to be a Hall of Famer, go do your research real quick. It's not really hard to tell why Julian Edelman's case is not strong enough. There are so many different receivers that you could list name after name that have such strong resumes that just haven't even sniffed the Hall of Fame yet. And if they ever will is a whole different question in itself. And it just goes to show why Julian Edelman's case is simply not strong enough. The amount of people that think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, it just made me feel like I had to make this video and I had to have an opinion on it, because there's just too many people that think he deserves to be in. And it's just so mind-boggling to me that this is even a thing. Like, how do people think this? So this whole debate has bothered me so much to the point that I came up with a comparison to show people that think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame how freaking ridiculous they sound. In my day-to-day life, when I'm just talking to my friends or talking to my family, whoever I'm talking to, I often use comparisons and analogies to get my points across, and I think this is a pretty damn good one. Sometimes I have some pretty bad comparisons and analogies, but I think this one fits perfectly. Alright, so here we go. Everybody that thinks Edelman deserves to be in the Hall of Fame is riding off of his postseason stats. Everything that he's accomplished in the postseason and how well he's done in the postseason is what they're using to get Edelman into the Hall of Fame. That's the basis of their argument, right? Let me put it this way for you. Let's say you're a student trying to get into the honors program at your school. You're trying to get into the honors college or the honors program, whatever it may be. In order to get into that, you need to have a good GPA and have good grades in all of your classes, right? So let's say you as a student specifically, you have a 98 in English, but then like a 71 in business, a 72 in math, and a 73 in Spanish. You have bad grades in all of your other classes, but you ace English. You're so good at English, you have a 98 in it. But just because you have that one good grade in that class doesn't mean that's enough to get you into the honors program. You need to have good grades in all of your classes in order to get into that honors program, because you need a good GPA overall and a good resume to get into that honors program. You can't just ride off of that one good grade and that be your basis of why you deserve to be into that honors program. That doesn't make sense. Your overall GPA is suffering because the rest of your resume is not good. That one class cannot get you in. And the same goes for Julian Edelman. Julian Edelman is doing really well in his one class, which is the postseason, right? That's where he aces everything. That is where he's got everything. Right there, the postseason, that class alone. But the rest of his grades in all of his other classes are not there. They're just not good enough. He's got no All-Pros. He's got no Pro Bowls. His regular season stats are just not there. You cannot simply put Julian Edelman in the honors program or the Hall of Fame just because he's got good postseason stats. That's just not how shit works. You don't get into the honors college with your 98 in English and a 71 in all the other classes. That shit just doesn't work. I mean, if that analogy doesn't open your eyes for how ridiculous this argument sounds, I don't know what will. It's literally the same exact concept. The Hall of Fame is the honors program. You need to be good across the board in order to get into this exclusive club. Julian Edelman is only good in the postseason, with his stats being only good in the postseason. Otherwise, he's got nothing else. But he's had such a great career. That's not taking away from his career, but he just doesn't have enough to get into this prolific club. Oh my, like that, oh my god, I'm tired now. That took a lot out of me. So yeah, holy shit, I thought that analogy was pretty good. I think that's pretty perfect to how this situation actually is in all reality. And like I said, it's sad that it's even gotten to this point. The guy just retired. It's not like he released a statement after he retired saying, I deserve to be in the Hall of Fame and here is why. He did not do that. If for some reason somebody came out and fought that case for him, and it's created a shit ton of backlash of people pretty much tearing down his career and what he's done and pretty much downplaying it because people think that he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, and it's created backlash of people that don't think so. And now it's created this big argument. Everybody's clashing about it when all the guy did was retire. He just wants to retire in peace. I mean, I don't know why this even started. Like I said, it's ridiculous. It's a stupid argument, but enough people think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame that it's a worthy topic to be talking about on my YouTube channel. So here we are. Okay, enough of the ranting, enough of the yelling. I want to know what you think of the topic down below. I want to know if you think Julian Edelman deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, and if you do think so, please let me know why. I am truly curious as to why you think he deserves to be in, and I will gladly respond with why I don't think he deserves to be in, or you could just watch the entire video. I think I've made my point pretty clear, but I want to know your thoughts down below. Any other general thoughts you may have about football, hockey, anything else, leave them down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. If you want to hit the bell to be notified when I upload, I would appreciate that. If you want to go over to Twitter, follow me over there, I would appreciate that as well. But I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.